Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I wanted to do a little bit of a discussion about reading slumps. I have found myself in a couple of reading slumps over the summer. Just very recently, I found myself really just not feeling either the books I was reading or just reading in general, just not really wanting to pick up books. I was losing a little bit of interest just in the hobby itself. And then there was one time where I was just reading some very mediocre books or books that were really disappointing to me. And it made me just question whether or not I wanted to keep reading at that point. So definitely feeling pretty slumpy a couple of times over the summer already. And I've noticed a few people have said the same thing. They're like, yeah, I'm feeling a little slumpy too. So I don't know what's going on with this summer, and people are just, kind of having those types of feelings towards reading. So I want to talk a little bit about slump, like how to get out of one, or if you feel one coming on, how do you prevent one? Because I've definitely been experiencing that. And I have a couple of kind of general things that I've heard other people say about how to beat a slump or get out of a slump. So I'll talk about those. And then I will tell you what I have personally done recently that has helped me. Okay, so the ones that have been kind of generally advice given are very specific to certain readers. So the biggest one I hear is just force it. Just make sure you're picking up a book every day. Just keep going. Don't put it down a book and stop. Just keep going. And then I've also heard on the other side, put it down, take a break. Don't force it or you're going to, get it further into a slump. So that's kind of more of what do you think is personally going to work for you? I'm in the camp, don't force it. I'm in the camp, take a break. Because I can definitely be someone where if I feel like I'm forcing it, then it just makes me resent it a little bit more. But there are people out there as well who need the encouragement and need to keep going. Otherwise, if they put it down, then they're never going to go back to it, or they're easily going to get to a point where they're just not picking up any books. So it's a very personal preference for that. And you just kind of have to figure out which one would work for you, whether you want to force it or whether you want to take a break. So that's kind of the big one that usually is one of the first things that people say when they are talking about getting out of a slump. So you kind of have to figure out which one is going to personally work for you. And when I take a break, it's like a couple days. It's not weeks or months or years. It's like 3 or 4 days. I just will not worry about picking up a book. And sometimes if I feel like it, I will during that time frame. But I usually just say, okay, I'm going to take a couple days. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to focus on something else. Watch a TV show, watch a couple movies, get into my scrapbooking more, just do something different. And then usually that want and desire will come back pretty quickly. Now, if you want to keep going and you want to make sure you're reading every day still, you can do something that my friend Krista from Books and Jams does. And I love this method that she uses where she does like timer sprints for things. So she will set a timer for like 15, 20 minutes and she'll read for that time. And then when her timer goes off, she puts down the book and she goes and does something else. And then she'll come back and she'll read for another 15 minutes and then she'll go do something else. So it's kind of back and forth. So you're not just sitting for a big chunk of time reading, especially if you're not feeling it or not really enjoying it, but you're still making some progress, but it's for shorter chunks of time. So it doesn't feel overwhelming. And then you're also able to kind of get some other stuff done, either things that you need to do or other things that you would rather be doing. So that way you're still reading every day and you're not taking a break, but you're making slow progress. And doing it with a timer definitely helps it to not feel overwhelming. Krista also has a really great video on her channel about Slump Busters. So they are either people talking about what helps them get out of a slump or certain books that help them get out of a slump or prevent a slump. So I will leave her video linked down below. It has a whole bunch of different booktubers who give little suggestions or specific books that help them. So I'll leave that down below for you if you want to see that too. Okay, so some things that I tend to do if I'm starting to feel slumpy. So number one, I usually take a break. I usually just take the pressure off myself for a couple days. Don't worry about it. If I don't read, it's fine. The world's not going to stop if I don't read from a book every day, right? So I give myself that permission to just not worry about it. and I kind of wait for the desire to come back. And like I said, it usually comes back pretty quickly for me. So that's one thing that I would definitely do. I would also think about like maybe picking up a book from one of my favorite authors, a tried and true favorite. I know that if I pick up a book from this author, I'm going to enjoy it. It's going to be good. I'm going to be into it. So that can definitely help as well. You could also reread a favorite, reread an old favorite that you know that you love, and it will give you those same feelings that you had when you first read it, like a comfort read almost. Pick something like that up. That way you're still reading, even if it's something you've already read before, you're still in the habit and you're enjoying what you're reading. So for me personally, over the summer, like I said, I've had two kind of like slumpy feelings. So the first one was in the beginning of June, and it was because I had read, I think 3 or 4 very mediocre books in a row where I finished the book and I was just really disappointed, and I just really didn't like them that much. And so I was feeling like, oh man, I just need a really good book. And so I asked on Instagram, and then I got some suggestions for books, and I picked one, and it was perfect. And I read it in 2 days. It could not put it down. It was so great. It was Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. And I loved that book. So that book definitely saved me from a reading slump, because if I had read another 2 or 3 star book, I would have just been like, and I'm done. So I needed something really good. And the reason that one worked for me, number one, it had a very, very good, strong male character. And that's what I was really craving at that point, because I had read a few books that were very anti-male, really depicting men as really bad guys. And, you know, that can be reality as well. But I really wanted a good, strong character, because I was like, oh man, I need a good man right now, and I'm not getting any. So that one was perfect for that, because Daniel is a fantastic male character, and he was exactly what I needed at the time. And the story was really good, and I just did not want to put it down. It was light with there's a little bit of heaviness in it. It wasn't completely like fluff. Like there was definitely some good commentary on, you know, status and social class and things like that for sure in that book, and some hard relationships that were happening. And so it wasn't complete fluff, but it was enough that it just kept me going, and it was just like candy for me. I loved it so much. So that's exactly what I needed. And I think if you can try to find an author like that, you know, when you pick up one of those books, you're not going to want to put it down, and you're just going to eat it up, and it's going to be great, and it's going to make you feel good. I think Abby Jimenez can definitely be an author like that for me now. So I think, you know, along with your favorite authors, find an author that you know you can kind of fall back on when you really need something. So that definitely helped me out of my June slump. Now in the month of July, I started feeling slumpy again. Like this is just recently, like this past week, I started feeling this way. And it wasn't the books I was reading. It was me. It was just, I didn't really have that desire to pick up a book and read for a long period of time. I was reading little spurts here and there, but I wasn't making a ton of progress. And I kept thinking, is it the books that are not holding my attention? But I don't think it was that, because I have since picked these books back up, and they're interesting to me, and I am enjoying them. So I think it was just me. I think it was just that desire. And I think I just wanted to focus my attention somewhere else. I really started getting back into scrapbooking again. Like I never really get out of scrapbooking, but I kind of go through peaks and valleys with that. You know, sometimes I'm super into it, and all I want to do is be at my desk. And then other times I don't touch it for like a month. So right now I'm definitely like wanting to be at my desk. So I kind of just told myself, okay, just take a couple days, Sarah. Just put the books down. Don't worry about it. They're not going anywhere. You don't have any deadlines. It doesn't matter. You can just put them down and focus on something else. And I did. I think I went 3 or 4 days without reading a single page in a book. And it was kind of nice. And it was exactly what I needed. And then after like 3 or 4 days, I started like, okay, now I want to read again. So what am I in the middle of? Let's pick one and let's read that until I'm done. And so that's what I've been doing. So that definitely helped. Just take a little break. And that kind of helped my brain to not stress about it and not worry about it, and not, you know, allow myself to get deeper into feeling like, oh, I'm not reading, and that's a problem. You know, it's not. It's fine. So just kind of taking that pressure off myself really helped. And like I said, it didn't take very long for me to get that desire back again. Now, I do feel like I could be lucky in that, because I do know some people who will start feeling that way and then they'll take breaks, and then 6 months later, they still haven't read anything. So it just depends. Again, this is a very personal thing as far as slumps go, about what causes the slumps and how long it takes you to get out of them and what helps you and what doesn't. It's a very personal thing because everybody's different. Everybody reacts differently. Everyone's life situations are different. So it's really going to depend on all of those circumstances as well. Okay, I think that's it for today. I just wanted to talk about that because it's definitely something I've been experiencing, and just wanted to bring it up and see if any of these tips and tricks can help you if you're starting to feel that way as well. And please let me know down below how you guys fight a slump. Have you been feeling slumping lately? If you have, what helps you get out of it? What helps you to overcome that? Do you just embrace it and let it go as long as it goes and it doesn't matter? Do you really try to make a big effort into getting out of a reading slump? Let me know how you deal with reading slumps and if you're experiencing any, or when's the last time you had one. I would love to know that as well. All right, hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you again soon.